Hello everyone, welcome to the first ever episode of our video podcast, Drop Dice Do Chats. I like it.
Indeed.
You like that?
Indeed.
Yeah. Thank you very much to George, the professor, for coming up with that one. A very special day. We're doing our first ever video podcast, and we are going to discuss some hot takes in Kill Team, especially the past LVO, which we have a special guest on the show today, Vivek Ramesh. This gentleman right here came second overall in LVO Kill Team. Very, very impressive indeed. I was there to see it myself, so I have to say I was overly impressed. I'm very proud of him. George Armour is on the couch with us today as well, another Kill Team expert. George, you ended up being in like the top 20, right?
Yep.
It was an amazing accomplishment for George as well. Like there was 120 players here, so I mean, the Canadian boys really...
130.
130.
It actually peaked at like 160 something.
There we go. Okay. But both these guys performed really excellently, and we were really proud of them. Really did Canada proud. So well done, boys.
Thank you.
Guys, before we get ahead with that, we'd just like to say if you can like, subscribe, share the channel, ring that bell. It really, really helps us continue to run this. And with that, let's just take a quick word from our sponsors.
Wheels and Wings is Toronto's premier hobby and miniature supply store. There is no better place to get your hands on anything and everything you might need for your hobby. They have tons of different paint ranges, tools, minis, and everything in between. They've got you covered because they have it all. For online orders, be sure to check out their website at the link in this episode's description below. And while you're down there, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button.
Welcome back, guys. So this is called Drop Dice Do Chats. This will be a bi-monthly video podcast that we'll be doing. We'll be having guests on like Vivek, and we'll be discussing hot takes such as, LVO, or, where the Kill Team meta is at the time. We'll also be discussing hobbying, other board games, maybe Warhammer 40,000, or maybe just standard board games, whatever really tickles our fancy at the time. So without that, we're going to get straight into the questions. I'm going to start asking these two gentlemen about their experiences at LVO and how that experience compared to last year. So let's start with you, Vivek. What was your experiences with LVO this year?
Well, compared to last year I was very new to Kill Team.
Right.
I think I had played maybe 7 games before going to LVO. I went 3 wins, a draw, 3 losses, which was great, 50-50, fantastic. Got a lot of practice in this year, especially in the last couple months with George over here, especially on Into the Dark, it was very useful. And yeah, I went out and I tried my best, and it went real well, real good, real good.
That's an understatement. That's an understatement. George was there. He saw it all kind of unfold as well. Like, what was your take, George?
Yeah, it's incredible. That last match, I remember kind of finishing my game, going up to the end table. I just saw Vivek and Orion just like intense.
Oh god.
Looking down at boards, and like there's a whole crowd gathering, and yeah, really cool atmosphere.
Yeah.
And, like,
Playing it to the end of the clock on both sides. It was great. It was a good time.
It was incredible, and I remember, because I wasn't in the Kill Team team as it is, I was playing the 40K stuff, but I remember coming in every time and just being like, whoa, you guys went 3-0, and like Vivek's really pushing up there.
Oh, yeah.
George, you were really up there too, you know what I mean? And it was just the work that you guys were putting in was like, people were starting to notice. They were like, who are
Plus
these guys?
the jerseys, all the matching jerseys, came out in force.
That
jerseys definitely helped. We got a lot of compliments on that. So shout out to Reese for designing them and coming up with the idea.
Yes, thank you, Gold Gauntlet, for designing those jerseys. Very, very, very thankful. George, tell us a little bit about your experience. Well, what did you play?
So I brought novitiates.
Right.
My nuns with guns.
The nuns with guns.
That was a bit of a last-minute decision, as Vivek will probably tell you guys.
George likes to switch kill teams.
I like to switch kill teams quite a bit, and in the run-up, I was like choosing between a few potential ones, between Warp Coven, Hands of the Archon, which I played previously on the channel.
Yeah.
What else was I looking at? And novitiates. Harlequins as well. Void dancers. So I was before the updated maps came out, I was practicing a few teams. Me and Vivek ran a few Into the Dark.
Right.
Which gave me a nice
games,
good amount of practice games with various teams, because George can't pick one.
Right.
So I could play every single one he wanted to try. I was like, that's great.
I'm going to say that's why I did it, to give everyone here a diverse.
Good practice. Great practice. Yeah.
But in reality, I'm just an indecisive bastard. I like a bit of variety in my life, please. So I ended up settling on novitiates. I kind of wanted a team with reliable dice and something that I know it's on me if I did badly, because you've got the dice reliability, So it's all about kind of positioning and playing the game well.
Gotcha.
And trying to minimize variance. That's kind of the decision I kind of took.
Vivek, on the other hand, you play 2 kill teams, I believe,
I
right?
one.
You play one.
I play veteran guardsman, and that's it. Why? Because the only one that's painted.
And,
the only one that's painted.
And look at just playing that 1 kill team. You know, I hear they do pretty well in the meta right now.
They do. Activations are king. Yeah, busted. You don't like auto-saving this, auto-crit there. I just gotta roll dice and rely on guardsmen to do the job.
Dude, you've seen my dice on this channel. I don't even need to roll dice. That's fine.
I still get to see those Drukari dice back yet, George.
Yeah.
After that hot rolling with them.
Vivek, what do you think of the depth then? Like, what do you feel like your game has changed over time as Vet Guards?
100%. It started out very cagey, shooty, and now it is the Wild West. I do whatever. I mean, you've seen a lot of the shenanigans I pull. I've got a better grasp of the fundamentals of the game, so way better understanding of how to use small tools, even if they're not particularly designed to do that thing, to get something done. Tying people up in melee is a big one. In-Death Atonement is your crux, how you try and control the game. And also, I actually know all the rules now. For the longest time, I was playing las guns as 3 shots. I was playing the hardened veteran as 3-5 instead of 4-5. Silly stuff like that. I don't know all that stuff, which really does help. You really got to know everything that's going on. There's just so many rules.
To be fair,
even for novitiates, there's so many little rules. And you got to know how every single one works. I think for you, it was Inferno tokens. You had something with Inferno tokens at LVO
I wasn't rolling.
Really helped you.
I completely forgot about them the whole time. See, I thought you had to resolve a critical dice for it to trigger, but it's just on a retain. And there was like 1 or 2 occasions where like someone
could have done some more rolls,
shot on 1 wound, and I could have probably killed them.
Yeah,
exactly.
I know exactly.
Especially with the strat, it's Inferno 2, so you're getting 2 shots at that one mortal.
Exactly.
Right, Inferno.
So Vivek, it sounds like your advice is know the rules.
Know your own rules
Yeah.
first. A lot of people get lost in the sauce of like, let me read about every kill team.
Yep.
Start with just 100%ing the one that you want to play.
Nice.
And then whenever you get to the table, you're not going to know every kill team. You're going to ask your opponent questions.
Right.
You can focus on the answers they give you instead of looking up your own rules while you're just like, oh, let me look up all my own rules. Okay, now let me also figure out your rules. It's just a lot easier.
Yeah.
You just know yours and focus on what they're telling you.
I 100% agree with that as well, especially if you're new to the game, because you're learning kind of 3 things, right? You're learning your team, you're learning the rules, and you're also learning your opponent's team.
That's true.
So I think if you're just starting out, just get a good fundamental knowledge of like what line of sight is, how to move, how to shoot, how to score, and what your team does. And if you can kind of master how to keep your guys safe, don't lose anyone like unnecessarily.
Right.
You do well, I think.
No freebies is a big
build on
one.
that.
Gotcha.
The more you learn not to give up freebies, that's when you start to see the game evolve a lot more.
Right.
Once you get through that turning point 1, no freebies. Turning point 2, no freebies. And then turning point 3, 4 is always a bloodbath. But if you can avoid giving up the freebies, that's another big step.
Right.
But that's a lot of being able to see the whole board state, understanding your team and understanding your opponent's team is the key to not giving up freebies.
Gotcha.
It's a tricky one, yeah.
It's a trading game, isn't it? So you don't want to give away anything for free. If you give away something, you're wanting something in return. So it's all about kind of learning how to trade on your terms, basically. And a good opponent will force you to trade on their terms as well. So it's like it's kind of, that's when it gets really interesting, when 2 players kind of can move beyond that first step of losing stuff for free.
Right.
And then you begin to start weighing up trades. Our trade, is it worth giving up, let's say, an initiate flamer for just a basic guardsman? No, most of the time.
Right.
But some of the time it is, if it means scoring you 2 points or something. So that's.
And ultimately, it comes down to your score, realistically, right, over anything else. So
if you end the game with nobody left, but you win and score, you win. You know?
Then you win.
That's the best victory.
There you go.
Like,
Did you yourself going through that process with Kill Team?
So for Kill Team, I'd have nowhere near as many games played as like the other top players, for example, at LVO. Just not enough events in Canada. So you get the game day Kill Team games, but a lot of people have access to weekly tournaments and whatnot where you get a way more practice. Half the matchup I had not even played before. Felgor I've played maybe once or twice before that, and that was pre-nerf like months and months and months ago. I played Voidsguard, a team I'd never played before. Funnily enough, I hadn't played Kazarkin before, played against them. Just a bunch of teams I'd never played before. So it was all about show up, ask the correct questions, get the information you need, and just try and remember it and apply it. Because at the end of the day, every kill team, no matter how complex they are, they boil down to about 10 or so tricks kind of thing, where it's like, you do these 10 things, you have your GA2s, your extra APL, your fly abilities, your explosions that go through walls, blast, torrent, extra activations, free activations, asset things. There's only so many things that actually go on. There's a lot of names for them that differ, but they all boil down to the same thing. So you just ask those questions, you get the information you need, and then you try and play the best game you can. That's how I approach someone who really knows their team, and I really know my team. You just try and distill it down to the smallest amount of information to absorb. You try and absorb that quickly, and then go play game.
Also, I'd say that veteran guardsmen have quite a proactive game plan as well, where some other teams are a bit more reactive. So with a proactive team like Vet Guard, you can play your own game plan, stick with it, and still do really well, because your opponent has to react to you.
Yeah.
But other teams, such as Novitiates or some of the elite teams, it kind of depends. You kind of need a good knowledge of what your opponents could do, so you can play around them.
So what I'm hearing is Vivek plays easy mode.
Basically,
yeah. Easy mode. It's super easy. Everyone play Vet Guard is really easy kill team. You don't have to pay any attention to Blast or Torrent, where you instantly lose the game.
Yeah,
There's nothing like that going on.
Vet Guard are a great team, though. They're really interesting case. There's been quite a lot of chatter about them recently, and they're quite a controversial team. So they have a really high skill ceiling, as Vivek is obviously evidenced right here. Mm-hmm. But but they haven't quite had the success people are kind of moaning about. So I think there's you can play Vet Guard really badly and lose guys for free and just not be a threat. But once you learn how to game the activations and keep your guys safe, because there's different forms of durability in Kill Team. You have the actual stats themselves, like Space Marine's pretty tanky, right? Having 14 wounds, saving on 3. But I would say Vet Guard in the early game is just maybe even more tanky, because you can game the activation. Because unlike in 40k where you have one turn and another turn, it's alternating. So teams with more activations can keep their operatives safe. So
and you can pass, which is a beautiful
exactly.
thing.
So you can pass. So like having activations is like a defensive ability, and with that they also have in-depth atonement as well. Mm-hmm. So even if you do kill an operative, they can still get value out of it as well, because they can still get the shot off or seal a point. So I'd say they're really, with 14 bodies, you can play the objectives really well, and they're just very, very solid game plan.
I've experienced that against Vivek last week. Where I was playing Harlequins, I think, wasn't it? Yeah, and
which is a matchup I've played so many times. So I kind of thank you, Alex, for all the practice games.
But it does, obviously, because we have more bodies and with a lot of tricks. And I've never played them before, so I can't really have a past experience about how to play in them. But when you have that many bodies that can pass or can push up the board and really gain a lot of control, and you have an elite army that losing one model, Vivek doesn't care. He's like, you kill 7 guys, I've still got 7 guys, and if I kill 3 or 4 of your guys, well, that's better for me.
And by killing, because you're looking at the idea of trading as well, and there's different types of trades. There's trades that happen immediately. There's also trades that happen over time.
Right.
So so Vivek can put his Vet Guard, his troopers out, and he's basically baiting you into killing them. And as soon as you kill them, that opens them up to counter trade with his gunners.
Yeah.
So that's their kind of, and they're very good board control as well with the demo man and the spotter.
Right.
So they're just a really cool, you're kind of baiting your opponent to kind of make a move, and then you can just hit them on the counter attack. Well, it's cool play style.
It's obvious that you know them quite well to be coming in second overall there at LVO. So I mean, as we said before, that was very, very impressive. As was everybody who attended, George.
Yeah, everybody did
Alex,
great. Alex,
Reese and Miguel. They all really did really well. So we're really, really proud of them.
So while you were talking there, Vivek, you mentioned that kill team tournaments can be sometimes hard to find.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to see what George's thoughts might be on that very subject.
Yeah, so maybe last year that might have been the case. The tournaments were a bit sporadic. So we had a few at ours, one every season. I think it was one every 3 months.
Something like that, yeah.
And then Chimera Games in Kitchener, our local rivals. They started doing it in June. I think that was their first one.
Yeah.
But honestly, this year has just exploded. It's packed.
Yeah.
So there's a
tournament every weekend
every
for the next
single
month.
weekend until mid-March.
Yeah,
it's nuts.
There's ones that you're running in Toronto.
Yep, so with
it's gonna be
Maple
like
Leaf Wargaming at our space there, we're going to do a monthly there. There's monthlies at Chimera.
Yep.
And then there's a tournament in Burlington on the 3rd of March, which sold out overnight with 18 spots, which is just crazy.
That's crazy.
So they're looking at maybe expanding it. And then we have a tournament up in Newmarket as well. There's a scene there. They've hosted quite a few. The guys up there are great. Shout out to Adam, who makes his own set of boards. There's a really nice community.
Is there a communal place people can go to find?
Sure, yeah.
Where all this is happening?
Yeah, there's so we're quite active. We have our own regional Discord, which is like a kind of a neutral space where the different kind of groups in the area can kind of come and post events and just kind of centralize discussion and rules questions, make sure everyone's on the same page.
Cool.
And we have like events tab on our Discord, which shows the upcoming events.
What was it called again, the Discord?
It's called Great Lakes Kill Team. We'll post a link. I'll give the link to put in the description.
We'll throw that in the script.
Yeah, if anyone's looking for games in Canada and in Ontario, also up in Ottawa as well, we've got a few guys from there.
Okay.
Nice.
So I know that there's the Canadian Tabletop Championship, which has a golden ticket this year again. I can't make it, unfortunately. So
when does that go up for sale?
It's on now. 25th of May.
Vivek has to go.
Yeah, I'll go. no, are the tickets up for sale?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I should
Well, there you go.
real quick.
Just to pause so you can go get a ticket?
Yeah.
Well, it's a really healthy community from the sounds of it, and just getting involved in it recently, it's really budding.
And even if you're not a hardcore tournament player, it's just a great excuse to get a few more games into your belt, kind of meet a really friendly community. Like, no one takes it too seriously. It's just been a really cool way to get to know people in the area, in the region.
Yeah.
And people are really keen, excited to kind of see where things go with it.
Nice.
Exciting.
Kill Team, obviously Beta Decima's been out for a little bit of time now. Have you guys played some games? What do you think of it?
Have you played it yet, Vivek?
I haven't played any games on it. I've been reading and watching battle reports on it. It seems interesting. I'm a huge fan of any weird mechanics. At first, I didn't really like Into the Dark, but then I learned to play it, and I really like it now. Probably a little more than Open, to be honest. I think Beta Decima will be in the same category. It's got some new stuff. It's got some weird stuff. Are Vet Guard really good on it? Probably not, but I'm just going to try and make it work anyway.
Might be the nerf we need. I think
nerf we need. Nerf the whole game mode for anybody who doesn't have access to climbing ropes.
So you're saying Harlequins might be all right?
Anyone can with fly is great.
So I think as they are now, I think anything that can ignore obscuring and can fly and or has climbing ropes,
they're gonna do really well.
Really good.
Beautiful.
My Botan.
Botan are gonna be great. Yeah.
I've got
You got stubby legs.
climbing ropes.
Yeah, there you go.
I can ignore obscuring.
Yeah.
Just a dude fly.
I've got one guy who can fly.
Yeah, next battle report we can do a Votan versus.
Have you got it painted?
No, not yet. I assembled it the other day.
Or Harlequins.
It's a lot of plastic.
I think Harlequins will be disgusting. Army-wide fly is already
Perfect
really good.
time.
That's better.
Have begun playing them.
I have to say though, it's really not having to worry about layouts and just putting the things on the board. It's so easy to set up compared to the original open maps.
Right.
It takes like a minute.
But this is my main complaint with Into the Dark. It's all right, well, I want to change my board, so
Let me fully dismantle the whole thing and then reassemble it.
No fingernails left after getting the caps off.
I've got a little
nightmare.
tool I use.
Nice.
Yeah, it is a pain to assemble and a pain to disassemble.
Yeah, take note.
I just buy 10 sets, build 10 different boards, and then just super glue gun and just, all right, now it's sealed up, it's staying like this. Just get 10 sets.
On the beta,
We'll get Will to paint them overnight.
Oh yeah. For the Beta Decima stuff, you had the new Scouts Kill Team obviously as well, which I haven't really seen much, and the Blades of Cain, the Strike Scorpion squad. So I haven't seen much of them. They don't seem to be that strong in the meta, I guess. But
that's still early days. I think.
Yeah, it's a little too early.
Yeah, like eight to 9 bodies worries me a bit, just because the activation, the whole meta is all about activation,
right,
and kind of durability and stuff. So that worries me a bit. But Blades of Cain seem really cool. Yeah,
they're cool.
If Andrew wasn't playing them, I'd be tempted.
Be tempted again to start another Kill Team, George.
This one,
George, you're just permanently
Blades of Cain is actually 3.5 kill teams in a trench coat.
Yeah.
So if George picks them up, he can internally keep moving around without having to actually switch teams. So I think it's perfect. You should switch. You should make that switch.
Blades of Cain are some of the Aspect Warriors, like Swooping Hawks. They were my favorite models when I was a little kid. If they update the swooping horde,
This is a switch I approve of. You should switch to Blaze of Cain. Forget Novitiates. Forget it. You have so many things to play around with inside of Blades of Cain. You can stay in that sandbox and master that.
It's a similar sort of playstyle as well. So you want to set up turn 1, not losing anyone, and then you're kind of coming back, trying to trade stuff. They seem cool. So lots of tricks.
Yeah.
All right, I've watched a bunch of the battle reports. They're all great. Actually, I've watched every single one, to be honest. You guys seem to be having a lot of fun. How you guys feeling about the battle reports, starting all this up? Great production value, a lot of effort. How do you guys feel about it?
Shout out to Gordon.
Yeah, shout out to Gordon.
And Chris.
Shout out to
and Chris,
and
service animal John Bradley.
This would not exist without well, obviously the 4 guys, but also mainly Chris. So thank you, Chris. The man. But I thought about this thing 3 years ago, and nothing happened with it for 2 years. And then Gordon got on board, and then we asked John and asked George, and then it just all of a sudden just grew legs and evolved.
One day I want to see the footage. The old footage, the tree.
No!
I want to see some of that footage.
Wait. There's old footage.
Oh yeah.
How old are we talking?
Okay, so
Gordon, do you have access to that footage? Can I get my hands on that?
100%. So here's
I'll shoot you an email later.
So this whole thing is Niall's brainchild, right? He's just forever wanted to have a battle report channel. Niall and I met through the Maple Leaf Wargaming group. I mentioned that I've done producing, and he obviously was very excited about that. But we had no money. So we tried for like, I think it was like a year, with like cell phones as our cameras, and there's no way to monitor them, and you got like 6 of them, and
they were like running out of space.
This is kind of a step up for the audience. This is a big step up from trying to film it on a cell phone.
Oh my God!
Right. We legit.
It was like, oh my God! It stopped recording. It was like
battery low.
So
we replayed
lost an hour of no audio. Great.
We'll make it work.
Just have to replay that entire turn. So where were all of your models?
All right, run it back.
Run back the video.
But
I guess.
a special mention to the sponsor Wheels and Wings, who've been Don and the 2 Kyles and the guys there have been so helpful in making this also happen. Yes. We used to film in part of their space, and we'd have 5 phones recording with these clip-on mics, and it would just be like constantly. It'd be like, okay, done. I think that stopped 15 minutes ago, Niall. I was like,
have lost all of
I said, we can make it work. And it's like, we'll try. And then Jordan would like message me and say, this is gonna take about 40 days to edit. Yeah. And I was like,
I'm talking 48-hour days.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just gone from, just good to better to amazing. And having John and George here and having guests like you come on just makes it fantastic. And we got great stuff planned for the future.
So we've got, what do we got? We've got we're going to do a 2 versus 2 game, which is going to be super fun.
Oh, isn't that?
At some point we're going to be doing like Friday night board games.
Yep.
We're looking into, I think it was Hero Quest.
Hero Quest.
So we're going to try and get that, maybe get somebody on as our DM.
Yep.
We got plans for a KT league.
Yep.
So we're going to be doing a full league amongst us and maybe a couple guests. And obviously more plans for more guests and more fun people, and obviously tons more kill team.
That's it.
That's what we love. We love shooting this stuff, and we love playing. And
George,
keep doing this
you better have me
as long
back
as we
because I
can.
like playing too.
Yes, and of course we are going to have more guests on. And Vivek, you will be obviously returning, possibly for that league, but
Possibly.
yeah, there'll be
The end boss.
We
the end boss.
That's such a great idea.
I show up with a brand new Chaos Cult team and be like, we've unlocked a new level of difficulty points.
Oh my God.
That would be hilarious, actually, if we just randomly give Vivek like what his team will be 2 days before.
Yeah.
And then he's just gonna like cram, and
I'll
then
do it.
play someone.
I'll do it.
The only way we would.
Oh, that'd be so fun.
Don't threaten me with a good time. I'll do it.
Nice.
How do you feel about Kroot?
Farstalker Kinban. Can I proxy them as like something else?
How do you feel about?
How do I feel about the Can I proxy them?
How do you feel about the compendium?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, look, I'll play any compendium that isn't compendium heavy intercessors. I'll try it.
You're thinking of trying Golden Boys, right?
I was thinking about it just because I like
Gordon, it's okay, buddy. It's okay.
I like what Reese had to say about it. It's like when you just want to go play a game, throwing down the 4 guys is fun. It's like, yeah, let's go play a game.
It's awesome.
4 guys. 12 APL?
Yeah, it makes more sense instead of going, I'm going to play, I'm going to play 100
Like,
plays.
if I'm going to
no.
teach someone
need to
kill
learn
team,
the rest.
it's a good
It's
team
simple.
to
The
teach
rules
somebody
are
else
simple.
kill team.
The painting is simple. Custodians really are, Talons are the best team.
Yeah, 100%.
Sure.
Talons are actually the
they-
S plus
I'm
team.
going to cut all their mics so they don't answer.
Nerf them. They should go up to a 3-up base save.
That's crazy.
But yeah, it was...
4 APL, that's what they need.
Yeah.
No,
Give it
come
back.
on,
Give it back.
George.
Give it back.
4
Give it
APL
back.
breaks
Give
the
it back.
game.
No,
Hell yeah.
George. But yes, a lot of exciting things ahead. Okay, and that's it for question time on the first ever episode on Drop Dice Do Chats. Thank you very much, Mr. Vivek Ramesh, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Congratulations again on your second placing in LVO. It was
And
amazing.
undefeated as well.
And undefeated. That was cool
So you
too.
got the
That was particularly
final.
cool.
Yes. To George.
Thanks, George, for that.
John and Gordon, thank you guys as always. Fantastic. But before we go, we have a little competition this month. We are giving away.
What's this here?
What's that under the table you've got there? It's a blooded kill team, and you're painting this army too, aren't you, George?
Maybe.
He's painting all of them. For the audience out there, he has every single kill team. He's painting all of them. He's a GW plant.
It's a GW plant. Yes. But back to what it is. So yes, blooded kill team. Our link to our Instagram is on the description below. When you get there, there will be rules on how to enter the competition. And good luck to all of those that enter. You will win a blooded kill team, whoever we pick.
Yes, whoever we pick.
Is
Not
it
all
North
those.
Not every single person. Yes, I want to make that clear that not every single person wins a bloody kill team.
Every single person who likes this video will receive one $70 plus tax blooded kill team box, courtesy of Mr. Niall O'Kane. Personally.
They will receive one box.
The resume is empty or not?
Exactly, an empty box that I've drawn on.
Yeah, blood.
Little men made out of sprues.
That is a great idea for a conversion. A stickman kill team just made out of
It's
sprues.
the universal kill team.
Oh my god.
And with that, guys, thanks very much. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Boom, that was good.